Okay, you're starting your Invisible Man essay, and you've got a very broad topic like discrimination, and you have to figure out how to narrow this down. So, I'm going to show you how you can use our databases to help you do that. And what I'm going to show you is applies to most of the databases that we have, but I'm just going to show you one example using the Opposing Viewpoints database. And when you get to that database, just put in discrimination at the top or whatever vague, unfocused term you have. And what you'll see is all the results that have that term in it. What I want you to do is click on News onto the right here. So you just look at news stories and then go down and look at subjects. And what that'll do is it'll show you all the different subjects under that heading. So you can automatically get a lot more narrow topics just by looking at this list that the database provides you. So I looked through all this and then I picked racial discrimination as my topic. I would still like to get this number down a little bit more, so I'm going to go even more specific and focus on African Americans right here. So by clicking on that, I'm now looking at all the news stories, and there's only 273 that involve racial discrimination against African Americans, since I know I can tie that to Invisible Man. And what I'm doing right now is just looking at the titles and looking for stories that interest me. As you read these titles, you should pay particular attention to words that call out to you because they may lead you to different topics. So I may look at, Airbnb or the Harvard admission trial. These are interesting stories that involve racial discrimination against African Americans. I could look at polling and election and how African Americans are disenfranchised from voting. I could look at the Cosby jury and look at how that race is affecting that. There's a story about Serena Williams and how she was chastised at the U.S. Open for her behavior. That story is actually pretty interesting. And so I might click open it and I might start highlighting words that draw me to this story and just go through and highlight things. And everything that I'm highlighting is giving me more keywords that I can use to narrow my focus search. And so I'm going to go through and read through these and keep track of all these sort of words and phrases that I think can be useful to my essay. And then I can use these also in further searches either on Google or in the other databases to get more information about specific ways African American women athletes are discriminated against based on what they wear, how they talk, and how they behave, as opposed to the sort of white majority. So hopefully this was helpful. If not, come into the library and we can work one-on-one on helping you get a more specific topic.